So we're going to start creating the masthead. So we're going to start with a file new, and as we said it before, to an A4. That's exactly what we're going to be using, and call this one masthead. Okay, so I like the idea of working with text, making it perhaps something called, I don't know, noise. Okay, let's click on that, and just because we're in the kind of modern vernacular, we don't know how to spell anymore, so we're going to spell it N-O-I-Z-E. It's a really nice size for that, but I don't like the color, so we're going to click on text, click on the grey color over there, and then choose perhaps a red, but that's really far too bright for the kind of modern look, so maybe a dusky kind of red. So there it is, noise, and on the right hand side you will see that created is a new layer called noise, which is the masthead. Now I don't like the idea that it's quite as sharp, quite as edgy as that, so I'm going to add a new layer, and if I look down at the bottom there, I'm clicking add new layer. There we are. See, click add new layer, and you can see it created it over there. And this layer I'm going to use to create a texture to add on top of what's happening here. And for that I'm going to use a filter. I'm going to create a render in terms of the clouds. Using the clouds, that's reasonably nice. I'm going to use select. I'm going to select the color range. Now what this does is it just allows you to select and choose different bits of color. Now there's only white and grey there. I'm going to click on the white there, and I'm just going to press OK. Alright, you can see that all kinds of shapes and things happen there. I'm going to turn that off for a second, and as you can see it went all over the letters of noise of what happens there. Now to apply this kind of effect on the bottom text, to click on noise again, and again go down to the bottom there and create a layer mask. And as you can see, like magic, what appeared here is a few holes in there. It looks kind of wispy or misty, something like that. Okay, while I'm on this text layer, I'm going to double click at the top, and that opens this dialog box, which allows me to do all kinds of different things. And because the outline isn't quite as sharp as I want it to be, I'm going to click on stroke, and as you can see that has changed the effect. I'm just going to turn that off. Click on stroke, and that will have created me a very sharp outline. Now that's rather nice, but again it's perhaps just a little bit too much for what I want. Now again with Photoshop, if you double click right next to stroke, that gives you the ultimate control over what happens here. So let's look at the opacity of the stroke, which is the outline that we have there. If we bring that down, you can see that we're kind of eating into that whole plan. See, if we take it down, we don't want it quite as wispy, but we don't want it quite as black as that. So somewhere in the middle is the size or the shape of the effect that I want. Somewhere over there perhaps. Again, you can change the fill type. You have all kinds of control. You can look at that and you can make it on the outside, but I rather like it just about 3 pixels. That's a pixel. Okay, so I really like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flatten this layer and I'm going to drag it across onto the main magazine cover.